Welcome back, Bart and Jim. Apologies, technical difficulty. We're talking about the rail trail going out to bid. Bart was a longtime member of the Harlem Valley Rail Trail Association, so thank you. I just wanted to give everybody an update on that. That's very good news. No resolution though. Salt Shed Resolution 129 to authorize the supervisor to sign and submit the Salt Shed grant. Can I get a motion, please? Erwin, can I get a second? Tiger. Discussion. We passed several resolutions throughout the last 18 months, preparing for this day. I don't have the final resolution. I have a draft posted. The deadline is July 31st. I'm on vacation July 30th. As soon as I get it, I look forward to the board. That's where we stand. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Salt Shed. Okay, next is resolution, did I not number this? Sorry, 130. Okay, it should be, yeah, resolution 130, supporting application for the Environmental Protection Fund Smart Growth Planning and Zoning Grant Program. Can I get a motion, please? I will second it for discussion. Okay, you motioned it, Jamie?
Yeah, so we actually, this is an amendment to resolution from last year. We applied for a comprehensive planning grant or to support a comprehensive planning process in our town last year through the same program. You were in a meeting with me in mid-January. We did not win this grant, but we were encouraged by the Department of State to apply again. They gave the application a pretty stunning review, but we're going to add a lot. We would hope to add a lot of the developments with the sewer district to support kind of housing density opportunities in the hamlet. That's one of the things that they were looking for. Of course, the median household income was an issue for us. That was raised as well in that meeting. We can't really do much about that. They've clarified how that's calculated. So we'll go through that process again. But basically, it's the same exact application as last year. The amendment is just to actually push out the match allocation. So we're not going to spend the match this year, even though if you look at the language here, it says like 12,340 towards comprehensive planning, regardless of grant allocation. So we designated this match regardless of if we won or didn't win, but we're, not going to touch that this year so that we can apply it to the project timeline, which is 2020, around April 2026 to April 2028. In total, we could push it out we can push out the timeline another year. So you have 3 years to complete this project. The match is not very much. It's only 10% of the total project budget. So it's, we were giving great feedback on this last year. It makes sense to apply for it again. It doesn't conflict with any of our other grants. So.
Okay.
When is it due?
The end of July.
Oh, like actually.
Yeah, I mean, the application is pretty much finished from last year.
But you said you wanted to add things to the application just now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually just a few paragraphs. There's like a few sections related to housing. I think they liked our response in last year's application, but we just have some updates that, Mike and I guess the infrastructure sewer committee has been working on that I think would support the application.
And who did the application? Who was involved in the process? I wasn't here last year.
Yeah, so it was mainly me and Gretchen Stevens. But we actually, as part of the process, we consulted quite a number of comprehensive planning consultants. You know, to advise us on
But
the costs and those type of things.
so within the town, there's Lee, the planning board, the zoning board, were they?
Yeah, so last year, the zoning board, the planning board, I think Lee as well, the county planning board, the county economic development corporate, I forget the
You're right.
name of that. They all sent letters of support, the Columbia Land Conservancy, we went through the whole.
So within the changes, we, you know, but I came home real late and I just read the letter from Barbara from the planning board. And she had questions and she
Yeah.
actually recommended, I believe, that we don't go forward with
Yeah.
this.
So I think we should maybe, can I read that into the record
Sure,
and respond to
sure.
it? Okay, I think that's right. Good, does that, yes. Would that be sufficient? Is that
I should
right?
read in the record.
Okay,
that doesn't
so,
matter to me.
This is Barbara Olson Pascal, who's the chairwoman of the planning board. She wrote, Dear Supervisor Dvorak and town board members, the Hillsdale Planning Board reviewed the proposed amendment to Resolution 64-2024 regarding the application to the New York State Environmental Protection Fund Planning and Zoning Grant Program at its regular meeting on Monday, July 14th. The board was notified of the proposal only on Monday afternoon. Accordingly, the first we learned of the resolution's language was at the meeting. So my response to that is that this is actually an amendment to last year's resolution. So they you know, had the opportunity to review this application. Then
They said they didn't. They didn't have a copy and they didn't know.
okay, well, it was, I mean, it was on,
They
you know,
have a
in
new
public
board.
meetings.
They also have a new
multiple
board.
times.
They have a lot of new board members.
Okay, well, I think, you know, they had an entire, I'm not the liaison
Yeah.
to the planning board. So I think they had an entire year, if they wanted to provide input on the application, they had an entire year to, or more actually, to do so.
So what else?
Why don't you, read Barbara's entire. and then,
Yeah, sure.
thank you.
As was discussed at prior, planning board meetings last year.
Not me.
Supportive of the prospect of the town undertaking a comprehensive plan review and looks forward to actively participating in whatever role the town board feels is appropriate and or legally required. The board recognizes the benefits of receiving New York State grant money to assist in what should be an exhaustive process. As far as the specific, quote, smart growth grant program proposal, the planning board does have several concerns which prevent our support of this application currently. While the resolution asserts that smart growth aligns with the town's interest, it is not apparent to the planning board that this is in fact the case, as we are unaware that the process of comprehensive plan review, including the gathering of community input on priorities, has commenced. This would seem to be putting the cart before the horse. So my response to that is that we have
Wait,
not,
we're gonna
as part of this application, sorry?
I thought we were gonna finish the letter.
Yeah, if you can finish.
No, I'm going to respond to each piece.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
respond to
If you
it.
want, to read the letter
In
into
the
the
public
record,
record.
we can just say, you need to read the whole letter.
You can go back,
Go
fine,
back.
please, we're not
Yeah,
stopping
you
you
can
that.
respond.
I mean, I can read the letter,
Yeah.
if you want, and then you can respond, is, what,
I
or
would
whatever.
prefer to respond to each part. I don't
Well,
think that's,
we're losing the flow of
it's
the
still
letter.
being read in, it's still being read into the record. It's easier to get through this. And so this is the same response that I,
Barbara requested through email that the letter be read into the public record, not that you interject every
they
paragraph.
didn't request that. I asked if she would attend, if she was going to attend the meeting.
No, it's in her email that she asked the letter be read.
So the
Okay.
question is,
Yeah.
Okay, why don't?
I do think if you're, I
someone read it.
think it's being read into the record, it should just be read in the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
And come back.
All right.
Thank
Dear Supervisor Dvorak and town board members, the Hillsdale Planning Board reviewed the proposed amendment to Resolution 64, 2024, regarding the application to the New York State Environmental Protection Fund Planning and Zoning Grant Program at its regular meeting on Monday, July 14th, last night. The board was notified of the proposal only on Monday afternoon. Accordingly, the first we learned of the resolution's language was at the meeting. As we discussed at prior planning board meetings last year, the board is generally supportive of the prospect of the town undertaking a comprehensive plan review and looks forward to actively participating in whatever role the town board feels is appropriate and or legally required. The board recognizes the benefits of receiving New York State grant money to assist in what should be an exhaustive process. As far as the specific smart growth program proposal, the planning board does have several concerns which prevent our support of this application currently. One, the resolution asserts smart growth aligns with the town's interest. It is not apparent to the planning board that this is in fact the case, as we are unaware that the process of comprehensive plan review, including gathering of community input on priorities, had commenced. This would seem to be putting the cart before the horse. Second bullet. To be clear, while individually the principles are perhaps intentionally quite vague and seemingly could represent best practices, the board is concerned that the details do matter. To represent the granting authority that Hillsdale will commit to incorporating community scale clean energy facilities, to cite one example, seems premature and imprudent. Further investigation of these principles seems warranted before any grant application can be made. The planning board is quite concerned, therefore, that accepting this grant money could potentially tie the hands of the future comprehensive plan committee to enact a plan which is best for all the residents of Hillsdale. We as a board are uniquely aware of the need to balance the interests of the various constituents who come before us and who are sometimes at odds with each other. In summary, Hillsdale does have a comprehensive plan in place, which despite its limitation has been functioning effectively to guide the planning board for many years. While the need to review and amend the plan is probably overdue, it is not an emergency and we view the proposed resolution to be ill-advised. We do not recommend that the board vote in favor of the amended resolution. Beth, Barbara Olson Pascal, Chair, Hillsdale Planning Board. Okay.
So going back,
Mhm.
she states that, again, any planning board that doesn't support this type of application, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. It's the only program that we can apply to for comprehensive plan.
According to Gretchen at the meeting, there's other grants that you could.
There are
apply.
other grants as inputs to comprehensive planning, but this is the one you apply for. This is the one
But
available to
would the town's hands
municipalities.
be tied to those 6?
Absolutely not. This has been described before, so, I'm going
Well, I
to,
think
it
the
says,
board
so,
needs to
as
understand.
we are she says, as we are unaware that the process of comprehensive plan review, including the gathering of community input on priorities, has commenced. So the whole idea is that we're applying for this grant
Mhm.
so that we can hire consultants, a comprehensive planning consultant, an actual professional planner who's going to tell us or consult us on what this public process
And who
is.
decides who hires that consultant?
The town board, of
Okay.
course, and that is clear in all of the documentation of this application. So we're not putting any cart before the horse, we're just finding the money before we need to spend it.
Can
That's
you
what we're
convince the
doing.
board, the planning board, that those 6 points aren't gonna be concrete?
Or limiting.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, okay, so we'll go on. You mean the growth, smart growth principles?
Yeah,
So we are not bound to any smart growth principles, actually, according to this application. What they want us to do is have the opportunity to review some of the priorities set by the state, right? So state policy gives us lots of grant money and development opportunities through clean energy programs. So what they want us to do, it's not required, but what they want us to do as part of this application and our effective process in comprehensive planning is to at least allow the public to understand these opportunities and review them. And if the public, if our constituents are not interested in these concepts, then they can provide that feedback and that can be adopted as part of a comprehensive plan. I would say that also the idea that we even have a functioning comprehensive plan, like that is not accurate. Our comprehensive plan is it's nothing. It's a few pages. It's non-existent really. We have local laws,
It's on the website.
we have zoning code, but a comprehensive plan is really going to help give our town board, planning board, the zoning board, concrete tools to address housing issues, address some of the ambiguities that our boards have to deal with all the time. And certainly, it certainly increase the efficiency in how we review projects.
Who's the lead agency on the comprehensive plan?
The town board. The town board. So usually when a comprehensive planning committee is built, we don't have one currently. It would be made up of, interested planning board members, zoning board members, members of the public, business owners, whoever would, want to be involved and active on that kind of committee.
So
I
would
think.
that committee decide if we should go for that grant?
I'm sorry, no, that committee is formed under the consult of a planner, right?
Okay,
So,
yeah,
so,
sounds like, to me, it sounds so complicated. And I'm all for getting grant money to review the comprehensive plan. But it seems like this grant is pushing an agenda.
what agenda would
The
that be?
six growth, the growth points, and I don't know if everybody in town is gonna go for like, solar fields or stuff that's in there.
This grant program does not require any of that adopted. They just, this is how all grants work. You try to appease the objective of the grant, but of course, when the board actually goes to implement the project, I mean, you can determine exactly the process, how it's implemented. What I do when I apply for a grant is I just show a kind of idealistic or proposed process and budget, but that can all be changed. What doesn't change is the money that is awarded and the match, but even the match, even the investment could be altered or could be increased.
Within the application, I didn't read the grant, like I said, but I'm probably the only, maybe Richard and I are the only people in the room who knew about the comprehensive grant when we did it in like 1990. Remember that? So.
I do remember that.
Is it
What,
the
I was
same
gonna ask,
program?
what's the date of the?
What's that?
What's the date of the existing comp plan?
The existing comprehensive plan,
Current comp plan, when was it adopted?
It's over 20 years old.
it's like, I do think it's like 1991.
Early.
No, that
Early
amendment
2000.
to
Well,
2000.
there might have been amendments to it, but.
Yeah,
There was an amendment to it in 2012, it was local number one.
Okay.
Right, but
Right,
we
so-
did it way before that.
So one of
Yeah.
the reasons
Yeah.
why last year I took on this initiative, I spent probably 1,000 hours on this application to make sure that as a new council person, I didn't have all the information. It took a long time to put this together. And the reason why I was seeking it is because actually there's a proposed state law that would require towns to update their comprehensive plan, all towns.
yeah,
And it hasn't been enacted yet. So by doing this, we have an opportunity to get this money now. And, you know, it might be much more competitive to get this money, or this money might not even exist. It's actually from a federal funding source. It might not even exist.
So within the
Next year.
application of the grant, does it anywhere state the goal of the grant, the intent of the grant?
Yeah, to improve municipal comprehensive plans.
And within that grant, are there guidelines? I know there's guidelines for Mallory,
Yeah.
what you have to do, but are there guidelines that say, in order to get this grant, the town must agree to anything?
No. No,
So
it's just those two numbers. It's, you know, it's the money that we're asking for, mostly just for the professional planning consultant, which the town board, together with the committee or without the committee, however, you know, you want the process, whatever process you would,
So
you
what's
know,
the,
you want
what's
to
the planning
adopt.
board asking for in their letter? They're asking for more time to review this, or they're
Well,
suggesting?
no, they're just saying that, they don't support it.
But
Which way they did last year,
I don't
and
think they-
I had the same response to them last year, and then they ended up sending a letter of.
I just want to add something there. In this current statute, what it does say is. A comprehensive plan is not mandatory, but it does say periodic review. The town board shall
Yes.
provide. As a component of such proposed comprehensive plan, the maximum intervals at which the adopted plan should be reviewed. So I don't know if your current plan
Yeah.
says that, but it should say that it's supposed to be reviewed.
Yeah.
within a certain period
And
of time.
also I think also our zoning code should, directly always reflect the comprehensive plan.
Supposed to follow it.
Yeah, and that is not the case, so,
So here's the overriding issue, I greatly support comprehensive plan, but like we're 14 days out. I mean, if you look, and I'll take partial responsibility for this
Yeah.
too, but like if you look at what we did with the salt shed, we literally started August 1, the day when the new grant cycle started. We passed 4 resolutions for money and seeker, and, you know, this has been part of the public discussion and public buy-in, even had a public meeting regarding the reserve. And it's been a year process to get to
yeah,
that,
and I did this year process last year,
but
and I,
that last year, but then 14 days, you're saying, oh, we're gonna reapply again.
yeah, if they actually allow you to duplicate your application.
Yeah, but why didn't
Because
you
it's
do?
money available to us.
I
and
understand
if-
that, but the
if we
question
don't-
is, if this, why now as opposed to in January? You know, there's a lot of questions here. Frankly, last year, we did not go through the proper process. We did not get that.
Relied on you as liaison to the planning board
Like,
to relay the information in the meeting with Department of State in January.
right,
The 13th of January, we had the review with the Department of State, and in that meeting, it was very clear that they said definitely 100% supported our
it should have been on the
reapplication.
January agenda, and if that
Well,
was my responsibility, then.
The list of grants has fallen off the agenda.
Okay,
We
so
had a-
Amy, if there are other grants that
But-
we could get that aren't due on
But-
July 31st?
No, I don't think it's.
I don't think-
What I'm saying is the application is already done. You have a copy of it. The entire application is already done. You know, as a council person, my job is not to write grants.
No,
I pick up these grants that I think that, you know, I can do in my extra time to support the town. I think that it would be, a really bad idea to pass up this, you know, $100,000 opportunity for the town. If we apply and later on you don't want to go through the process, you don't have to accept the award. Right? But why would you sacrifice this opportunity? It doesn't make any sense.
Again, it's a timing issue. I wish we had more time, and if that's on me, but look, we.
$100,000. $100,000.
Yeah, but we got $8,000 for a band shell and the Hammer Park, and your big thing is, where's the public input? Where's the public input? There's been no buy-in here.
About
There's
this
no,
program.
nothing requires more public input than a comprehensive plan. If we're starting off on this foot of 24 hours notice, 14 days, I think it's a bad foot to start on. I'll just say,
Dollars is so that we can hire an expert. The state wants us to hire experts who actually understand how to best engage the
I
public.
understand that, but
on
we
these-
could have been
Yes.
starting fomenting public support for this project with more notice.
It's been over a year, Mike.
Has it been on the agenda? Have we discussed it?
It has
Have
been.
we
It's been
discussed
on
this?
the agenda.
No, I did not. What, we never discussed any of those grants at the bottom of the agenda. Unless it was requested that it be discussed. We,
And at least the planning board's just asking for more.
right, I'm all for this. I just,
Yeah.
we should have passed a resolution to, match the match and put that into reserve. We could have done a lot of things to make this application stronger through board actions throughout the year, saying we've done. I don't even know what we could do at this point, but,
So many people have been working so hard. The housing committee, Climate Smart,
yes.
you know, all of these people are
And
supporting
did you,
this application.
I asked the housing committee for a letter at 3 o'clock yesterday, with 24 hours notice.
Yeah, but the housing committee totally supports this application, of course. And they did last year. It's the same application. We're just reapplying.
I'm saying there should have been a better process. I do support this. I think there could have been better buy-in and a better, more open, transparent discussion through many months as opposed
When's the
to
next time this grant's available?
following year.
July 31st. And the money is, it's federally funded. It's through the
Yeah,
Department of
I
State,
get
but
it,
it's
I get it.
Yeah, I
federal
get it.
money.
And
That
we
will be
can-
on next year, most likely.
Again, are there?
Okay,
other-
so there's like two issues here. There's the issue of submitting this grant, and there's the issue of the timeline of regarding this grant from January till now. That, because it hasn't been discussed until today.
January 2024. Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm hearing, since I've been on the board, I've only been on the board since May, it's all new to me, but that's what I'm kind of picking up, that. It hasn't been, put out there on the agenda until today,
We've got other
tonight's
priorities,
agenda. Okay, then the other problem is, which I do have a concern, the planning board is crucial to the comprehensive plan. There's no doubt about it, and I'm gonna give you a 1 minute example. When this, in 1990, when this was approved, and we had a comprehensive plan approved, the first building built was that grocery store across the street, which violated every proposal in that comprehensive plan. That's just an aside. I always have to say that because I hate that freaking stuff. Not now, prior. But anyway, is there a way, do you think, you say you wanted to make certain, reapply and you hope to add something, some support or something, you mentioned that at the beginning, right?
Support from the planning board, zoning
Okay.
board.
Is there a way from now until the due date or a week, within a week? Could you discuss with the planning board these concerns and discuss, I think also with the zoning board and
Of
maybe,
course.
and maybe also we?
Yeah.
Because these are the people who are gonna have to enforce it, your concerns. And then if you could get those concerns and those considerations done by those people. Then could we have just a quick meeting to approve
Yeah,
the,
a special meeting on the 28th or the 29th.
The thing is that, do
That's
you
what-
know how many hours of work I have to put in to make sure
Yeah,
to
you
deliver
got
that
it, right.
application?
You
And
got-
then to have a board then deny the submission?
I don't think it's denying the
That's-
submission,
Really,
I
it's
think
so much
basically.
work. It's so much work.
Okay, I don't know how much work it is, I don't give you, but I see Barbara had 3 questions. Right?
Right.
The board, not just Barbara, the
Yeah.
whole
Okay, the board,
plan.
what can I say, that doesn't seem like that much to discuss? You kind of mentioned if Barbara was here, you would discuss it.
I'm very happy to, I, of course, also received this, right before this meeting. Of course, I'm very happy to discuss with anyone, but I think also this application has existed for over a year and there was ample opportunity. The same comments were made last year and ultimately everyone supported it. It was unanimously approved by our board and, approved by everyone in the entire
And it
county,
was submitted and it was denied and we got that.
right?
But the,
But so,
but now a question has come up from the
Sure.
planning board. And
Sure.
we
I'm
respect,
willing to address it, but I need to address it tomorrow. I
Okay.
mean, I cannot do this, I cannot put this amount of hours into these very strenuous applications without support from my,
so if you
from
could
my
address it, can we address it and then have another special meeting to say these things have been ironed out and we approve it?
right, do we have 4 days for a special 4 day? It's- I forget.
2 days.
Yeah,
Really?
2 days.
2 days. So can we have a meeting, another meeting in 2 days?
No,
Well.
he's on
it's up to the-
vacation.
Yeah, leave them.
Lee's on
He
vacation.
might
Who
take,
knows what, who from the planning board's around? They need a little notice. Then
Yeah.
you got the zoning board.
How, who were the members in the meeting Monday who, approved the letter to us?
Kyle Miller. Barbado. Barbara Pascal and John Avini.
No, Dan.
Yeah, he might go out of bikes or glasses.
Perhaps Craig and Lee, you could just send an email and saying, we're resubmitting the application. Do you have any concerns
Yeah.
or anything you would
absolutely.
like to add?
Okay,
Do they have the application?
I have no idea.
so we could pass a resolution pending sign off. From those three orgs, or if not, we can meet again and discuss.
If the board doesn't support it, then I'm not gonna, I don't wanna do the work.
I
If you really don't support it, I don't wanna do the work, honestly,
like,
because I
like
think it's
Barbara's
a little
letter, I
bit
think
like.
there's a lot of question marks. And if the blanks were filled, that might change a lot. So
Does the board have any questions about the
I
application?
just said that. Like that letter, I have questions.
Okay, do any other board members have questions about this application?
No, I'll read it, but from what I hear, yeah, I don't have any questions, no.
I just have a question. Can you withdraw an application after you put it in?
I didn't hear
Can
you.
you withdraw an application if you were to put it in?
I mean, I don't know about, contacting the Department of State, they cut off communication, like. Questions and communication like a month ago, so I don't know if I'd be able to find that, but I think you can definitely. Reject an award. You can definitely say, we don't want this award, send it to another town. Which I don't think we would do, I think we would figure out any kind of nuances and procedure or questions that people have in the meantime.
Yeah,
And if it was still a problem, then this board would vote to reject the award.
I mean, if you got an award for $100,000 and then you rejected that award, I think
Yeah.
next time you apply, they'll just like laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm certainly not going that way. Ken does bring up a good point. I think the town right now, we could approve that award and then say,
Just-
talk to these people and if, you could withdraw the application. I think that's a definite possibility. I don't like the idea of saying we approve the application. But pending
Right.
approval from the planning board, that's just too much power to planning board people to say that. So I am not in favor of doing something like that.
What if you
I-
said the zoning board, planning board and building inspector?
Well, I just think, they all should be involved.
Yeah,
in
yeah, I-
comprehensive plan.
I agree to that because. Ultimately, you don't need their advisor,
Right.
you're the ones who are deciding,
Correct.
so. Whether they
Yeah,
wanna
it's-
go along with it
right,
or
it's
not,
just their
so
opinion.
it really is not, I don't think it's a proper to leave the decision in their hands.
That's true,
Yeah.
that's true,
You
but
could take whatever feedback they say and they go. We think that those concerns need to be
Yeah.
addressed and we're gonna go ahead anyway, so I do agree that the city.
So
should-
go for it. If you get the money and we have to stick to their 6 points of
Yeah,
growth.
I just think there's just a lot of misunderstanding about this generally, and I think they forgot what the
I don't think
response.
they ever saw it. Their response last year was yes.
Well, I mean, if
but
they
they
wanted
didn't
to see, if they wanted to see details of the application, which I believe were sent to
They
them,
didn't
I mean,
see
it's
it.
definitely. It's
And
definitely
you
in
gotta
our
remember,
records,
there's new board
it's
members,
definitely in our
new
records
board
here.
members from last
If
year.
they,
It's a digital, I don't think I have a copy of it.
yeah, absolutely, everyone received a copy of this. This has been brought up on so many
Right,
occasions.
but the board members
But do you remember
changed
when
at
you
the
said
planning
it?
board, so some of them were not familiar with it.
I'm sorry,
Last year, after it was, or before and after it was, or after it was submitted.
so it'd been July last year.
Yeah, so Barbara says the planning board is quite concerned, therefore, that accepting this grant money could potentially tie the hands of any future comprehensive plan committee to enact a plan which is best for all residents of Hillsdale. We as a board are uniquely aware of the need to balance the interests of the various constituents who come before us, who are sometimes at odds with each other. I just think there's a complete misunderstanding about how grants work generally. I mean, this does not tie our hands. This application does not.
Well, that was their fear. Why don't you just tell them there's nothing to be afraid of?
Yeah, and I think I went through that last year.
I make a motion that we resubmit the grant.
I'll second it. Any further
I'm
discussion?
interesting.
We already had a motion.
Oh, we did?
Jamie and.
Oh, sorry,
Vote.
okay, all right.
Then vote.
Then you wanna call the question?
Yeah, let's vote. Time to discuss the death.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in favor,
There you go.
Yeah,
for and abstain, so, okay, great.
Thank you.
So let's, make a point to. Talk to the planning, the zoning, put it on the agenda, and leave. So yeah, great,
Yeah, I'll write a letter to all of them
Okay.
tomorrow morning, and I'll include the link to the documentation from
Right.
last year. And of course, as we discussed as part of our process, you will receive, I think I said the 25th, I could give you a near final, if not
Okay.
final draft.
great.
So you have a few days to review it, and I'll submit it, on the last day.
Would you make yourself and or Gretchen available the first Tuesday and the second Monday if possible?
Oh, sorry.
For the zoning, in August? Just in
What
case,
day?
I think they're the first Tuesday of August and the second Monday of August.
I mean,
And you can call Lee tomorrow.
This needs to be,
absolutely,
Okay, great.
this needs to be corrected in the resolution.
which should,
You have down, in support of the application and comprehensive planning, the town board comprehensive planning and zoning committee. It's called the comprehensive town board committee. That's it, what its official title is.
really?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a,
It's you.
it's a, yeah,
It's a town board.
it's a supervisory committee. It's not a committee.
yeah, the town board committee. So where is that? Here? Yeah, this side. Oh, okay, so you want to change that to town board,
It's got to be comprehensive town board committee.
comprehensive town board committee. Sure, can you, is there a way for you to? Do we have to re-vote on it?
I think we're fine. Yeah, okay.
Could you make that change then, Rubina?
I don't have this.
I think I do, maybe open recent, resolution, planning grant. What's the wording, what paragraph?
It's second for the last,
In support of the need of a comprehensive plan, no,
in support of the application.
in support of the application of the town board comprehensive,
Planning and zoning isn't that at all?
no, what's the correct, here it is.
I can't say the comprehensive town board committee. Town board.
The comprehensive town board committee, okay, okay. Right, and this is 20, placement. All right, let me just make sure, but, okay, great, I'll get to that tomorrow. All right, moving on in the agenda, sorry. Okay, resolution 132 to approve the proclamation for Kevin and Ken at Passiflora honor. A second,
Yeah.
all, any discussion?
Great guys,
Yeah,
gonna be missed.
gonna be missed. I didn't realize they were only open on the weekends, but,
Do they own the building?
no, you're right.
So that building will be available?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Resolution to purchase a new refrigerator for the upper barn in the amount not to exceed, $1,200. Can I get a resolution, please? Irving, can I get a second?
Second,
Joanna, any discussion? The refrigerator broke.
No.
Yeah.
So
So,
this is from what line? You
Rojan Park.
This will be the Rojan Park line, because it's not the, it's for the youth program and weddings, but
Money's coming from Rhinestone. though.
yeah, well, the resort,
Or, yeah,
yeah.
So,
the wattage, I need to know the wattage for the unit you wanna get, because it could blow a breaker.
well, I don't
Okay.
know, what, there's 2 units,
Huh?
there's 2 units.
Oh, right, I don't know, we have to see, we can
Okay,
approve this, but we have to check the, I have Bill looking into. The panel box to see if we can handle that load.
okay, so can we have that?
Regular, so my suggestion is to get 2 these.
One
Well-
freezer, one refrigerator, industrial.
It's the same thing.
Can we have this conversation offline since we had the budget approved?
yeah,
Going
Yeah.
underneath the budget?
Yeah.
Okay, resolution 134 to accept the donation of a new refrigerator from Heather Canetto at the value of $150.
You talked to Joe Rocco and that's Heather's giving him cash and he's buying one.
I believe she bought it, so,
He bought it.
yeah, so either way,
Okay.
just wanted to make it official.
'Cause
Can I get a motion? Irving, can I get a second?
second,
Okay, this would be another refrigerator.
We'd have 3 of them.
Well, we'll see what
Yeah.
you and Ravina decide,
Yeah.
depending on wattage.
One for the youth program and
Okay.
then 2 for the events, one on the
Okay.
freezer on the refrigerator.
$5.99 each.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
We have firehouse events.
Yeah,
What?
We have it at the firehouse.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
yeah,
Cool.
great, we'll check the wattage.
they're indoor.
Yeah.
You have a
let's
budget?
See if the panel box can handle it.
Okay, all in favor of accepting the gift? Unanimous, thank you. You got a grant, did you know that?
Got it?
Yeah,
Kidding.
but the
Somebody
weird thing
emailed
is,
me, or I didn't look at my email. today.
okay, they made it a match because it was too much. So it's
What
2
is it?
checks of 25,000 each,
Yeah.
but they have to be matched. So we're gonna have to do some fundraising, unless you wanna call her and
Do we just take the 20?
you can contact her. We don't accept anything tonight because we're not gonna match it tonight anyway. And find out how, like, what the lines can match, but I would call her and discuss.
We'll tell.
Yeah, great, congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, we
So wait,
got
50 or just 25?
50. The
But
match,
1 year this year, next year.
yeah, it's over 2 years. Okay, complicated. We did, they also granted $20,000 for the new band shell at Hamlet Park. So I get resolution 135, can I get a motion to accept the
Wait,
grant from
Harlan.
HRBT?
Right, they did.
$20,000. Steve second, Irwin, any discussion on accepting the
Is
$20,000?
that a match?
No.
I'm calling Kelly.
Call Kelly.
Yeah.
All in favor of accepting $20,000? All right, Richard, cemetery, thanks for hanging out. I put it at the end because it's now resolution 136. anyone wanna change the resolution numbers? So Ken is of the mind that, the $6,000, basically a cemetery organization went kaput. And had money left over, which they transferred to the town. Need a resolution to accept the transfer of $6,000. Can I get a motion, please? Offered by Erwin. Can I get a second? Steve Tiger. We can go deep into the rabbit hole of cemeteries. It's complicated.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes it so complicated, it's rare that a cemetery association usually die off. It's rare that they have the foresight to formally deed the maintenance and the land to the
It
town.
was the ladies that
Mhm.
donated the money that they don't accept that on.
Yes,
They.
are they still around to
No,
formally?
no, they used to.
See, that's
I'm
the-
pretty sure they're not, but
There are many cemeteries you take care of
they're
that,
teachers,
probably,
Sister.
yeah.
yeah. Like back in the Civil War, people would take care of them, but there was never a formal resolution to do this, so it gets messy, but Ken's of the mind and that the
It's-
$6,000 is for cemeteries.
Who made the motion? So,
It was Irwin and Tiger. So,
You
For
take care of
cemeteries or for that
for
cemetery?
cemeteries, like if you need to buy a new mower for cemetery maintenance.
Because
that's-
you're obligated to take care of that cemetery.
So it's
Yeah.
a free mower?
What's that?
Are we talking about a free mower?
Well, maybe, but it's up to Richard. So,
Yeah, we. Is there any way that you can? Set up a committee for that or something? I'm serious.
yeah,
I know that there's.
there is a.
There was a cemetery
committee.
committee.
yeah.
All right, to do what exactly? The, to keep track of the money?
Discuss. I'd like to be part of a discussion that. You know, because there's somebody that's involved with that cemetery that wants that money to go. To doing stone repair and stuff like that at that cemetery. So it's, I don't wanna be the one that decides whether we buy a mower or we fix a stone or we take a tree down.
That stone.
It does-
Cost of over $1,600.
What are they? Are they transferring the money with specific conditions attached to it?
No, this money was left. Actually, it was. A substantial amount of money. And the cemetery was mowed for several years and maintained for several years by. A company, but they put the stipulation that when it got down, the donors, when it got down to. The $6,000, they couldn't use that because it had to go to the town. So that's what they did, they dropped this level down to zero, or to the 6,000, and then stopped maintaining the cemetery. This has been going on for several years, but. A resident got wind of this $6,000 and has been part of, communication with it. So he's done this wish list of everything that he would like done in the cemetery. It's a resident, it's not a part of the board, it's not a part of anything, it's not. And I've got enough controversy in my life with the highway superintendent, I sure I won't need this. So,
It doesn't really fall under your purview.
it does,
Yeah, it
the
does.
maintenance,
It
the
does.
maintenance of
Maintenance
it, that
does.
does. But the decision of what maintenance is done does not fall under my purview.
Right.
Really?
So,
Who decides that?
so,
Who does?
A
decide?
committee? Whoever,
Well,
Wow,
who does decide?
I think you have
would it be a
discretion over the fund. This is highway fund.
Well,
That you have discretion.
cemetery funds, who's, the town's responsible for cemeteries, not the, I mean,
it's a general, yes, it's a general account, it's not. It's the highways department's
we do the
responsibility,
work, but
to
it's
do
paid
the
out of
work,
general fund.
but it's billed to the general.
Yeah.
Side of it, not the highway.
Right,
Okay,
okay, because it has its own line,
yes,
Correct.
So that's the reason he's going.
yeah. So look, I could talk to Lauren Letelier, who is big into cemeteries and
Yeah.
is. To be a part of the committee
We have,
and you.
we
and-
have other cemeteries that need work.
Yeah, I know.
I need
It's
money.
like, well, we're not the only community that's facing this. This is like a systemic issue because this is
You
a
know what?
terrible
I-
system.
We do substantial work, the highway department and the cemeteries that's not compensated, we get $1,200 a year.
Right,
But there are cemeteries in town that should be taken care of, that's been abandoned.
okay, so
well
let,
abandoned.
let me talk to Lauren, who really knows this stuff inside out. Also, HECDC has $5,000 that's sitting there, so, you
Staying
know,
there for cemeteries?
yeah, so.
That's when.
Since Janice Smythe raised it and then didn't use it, yeah,
Move away.
yeah, so she resigned from the.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
We're using one of the mowers is from nineteen
All right.
seventy-two,
So
you know,
it's
it's like, but we're.
I'll take it.
Okay,
The cemetery law is all over.
it's,
There's cemeteries in the town, there's cemetery stuff in the general municipal, there's cemetery stuff in the not-for-profit, law. There's all these things. It's ancient law. A lot of it goes back to like the 19th century. I've dealt with this other places. The people who are in charge of the cemeteries very often don't even have the slightest idea if they're a formal organization, if they're just a group of ad hoc people put together. And
This is the,
Things to try to sort these things out.
this is the first cemetery that's actually had any funds or anything,
But the
so.
thing is, you're obligated to take care of that cemetery. Right?
It's been abandoned. I don't know, does the town have to accept it as a?
Yeah, we do.
cemetery?
you have to take
We
it,
have been maintaining
Yeah.
it since last year, because
And if you're taking the money from it, you gotta maintain.
Okay,
this
Okay.
whole thing has been going on for better than a year.
Richard, why don't we just vote and then
Vote on what?
what on what?
accepting the money? Do we?
Well, yeah, we'll accept the money, but then we'll,
And then
You gotta-
maybe I'll talk to Lauren.
You gotta vote to accept the cemetery before you vote to accept the money.
Well, that's the problem, they have to formally offer us the cemetery and they're defunct, so that rarely happens, I mean, but de facto, we are in charge. Whether we approve it or not, had they written us a letter saying, we hereby bequeath the cemetery to the town of Hillsdale, we could have taken a vote, but on what authority?
It's on your road, so maybe you could just run it down.
Maybe all of, yeah,
Your mower, when you're mowing your lawn, you can
Exactly.
just run down there and.
This might start a domino thing about.
Yeah,
Cemetery.
motion to,
Well, I used to say, if you're taking the money, you're gonna be caring for the cemetery.
This is why I'm saying, which should be first here.
but don't we have to take care of abandoned cemeteries?
Yes,
Yes, you do, so, yes,
We haven't gotten a letter.
that's what I'm saying, it's never officially abandoned, which is why it's terribly complicated. Cause these groups get defunct or move on, one way or the
To a
other.
better
And
place.
so they rarely have the foresight to formally do the necessary paperwork, so we end up de facto maintainers. And that's just the way it is, it's a terrible system, which is why we're having this problem.
Yeah, I think if you're taking the money, should be under the
There's
understanding.
only
you've got to
like
be
a
taking
30
care of that
person
cemetery.
on there, doesn't.
Yeah, we are gonna take care of that cemetery.
Just tabled it,
You have to look for the. little
Yeah,
fee.
there's no like,
and then get all the information.
Okay, all right,
Well, apparently, we're trying to get that information for a really long time, and there's this.
and
Yeah.
weren't we concerned about the check?
the check, I did, cause it was over a year old, I had concerns. I did cash it because,
Was
which we can refund, but like, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be expired, so. You know,
Our maintenance limit with the highway department is.
There's no standard of care for cemeteries. like,
Yeah.
there's-
so,
All right, that's.
vote to accept this, the transfer of $6,000. Okay, unanimous, your former committee is to be continued.
Can we throw,
So make, just say to Frank,
can we have a spooky walk in that cemetery?
yeah, sure, we can have
Right
fundraising.
now.
Okay, I need to go back, I'm sorry, we missed the, resolution, about the Russian.
I'm sorry, the one.
Um,
Oh, there was
Transfer.
also, I'm sorry, that was my fault.
no, I missed it,
There was,
Resolution 131, certification under executive order number 13, prohibiting state agencies and authorities from contracting with businesses in Russia. Can I get a motion for the supervisor to sign? Erwin, can I get a second? All in favor?
yeah, so it was number 16. That was for the comprehensive planning grant.
Yes, yes, exactly,
Yeah, oh,
yeah,
thank you for bringing that
sure.
up.
Okay, I would sign that. Okay, we need to adjourn into a quick
Okay,
executive
I
session.
make a motion, we move into
Second.
executive session to discuss
Alright,
negotiations and that we invite the highway superintendent
Okay,
to be in negotiation.
all in favor?
make-
Aye.
Steve Tiger, second by Erwin.